It's so amazing and wonderful how a small and ordinary beginning can lead to a big extraordinary ending like this backstory of the 7 greatest Yusufs of all time for now. Yea, as great as they are, this is their small beginning or how they all emerged on earth and started their growth journey from. This is a story that people that even knows one of them wants to hear since that one always talks about the greatness of others. This is a global must-hear and must-know story. This is an inevitable story. This is a short story and this is a story that I am not worthy to talk about, so please Sir Yusuf, tell them, they await it.
Yeah, that is right. That is right. Um, you know, everybody think because the ones that know one of us, and somehow because of that one of us, they already like know the rest of us. Since we talk about ourselves and the story, they're like, okay, how does these people came about? What is all those their stuff? Now, some of you already know the history of some of these things, so let's just go to the main thing, the very short story. So this should be short, which is how they all emerge into what they said, how they were all, you know, giving birth or something, to the best of my knowledge. Now, first of all, we have Yaya Yusuf. Yaya Yusuf is the first of the greatest Yusuf of all time. He has many roles to play there, but it came about March 1st, one of those dates, in the 1900s time. It came about, it was given birth to by the Abonigena family, and he was doing a lot of things. I had a lot of siblings, up to many siblings, both brother and sister, many. So it was not the first, and certainly was not the last one, but he was doing a lot of things, making a lot of history, and he was not privileged because that was a village, and how school mentality is. And most times you worry about food more than school, going to farm and other stuff. So we're not really privileged. You didn't even have the support system to go to school. So later on, he became a very good worker, working in banks and other stuff, and working a lot of, he was a uniform worker. I think at the point he was even a MUPO officer when he met my mom, and my mom too having a backstory, which she was giving birth to by April 3rd, that is Joy Yusuf, the second greatest Yusuf of all time. She was giving birth to, and also when she was small, a lot of things happened, even having a lot of weird friends that affected her performance in school and some other things. So after a while, they grew up and both of them met each other and fell in love and, all that stuff, paying of bride price, blah, blah, blah. From there, you can guess that part. And then, at the point where my dad was trying to be framed for something he didn't do, not just only him, some officers trying to be executed for something he didn't do, which my mom was praying and, going from churches to church. That is when she had the third greatest Yusuf in her stomach, named Bright Yusuf. So after that, God delivered my dad from that situation, which it could have been a very dire consequence. So they gave birth to Bright Yusuf and named him Bright Yusuf on September 29, 1996. Yeah, September 29, 1996, where they gave birth to Bright Yusuf. Now, from there, later on, they left the village and came to a place in Lagos called Ajegule with very rude landlord and other stuff. Ajegule. So it's from Ajegule that they give birth to the fourth greatest Yusuf of all time, Henry Yusuf. That is me, Henry Yusuf. So, yeah, I was given birth to in Lagos. I usually say that in Ajegule, March 30, whether Thursday or Tuesday, I've forgotten, but 1999. March 30, 1999, where they gave birth to me. And I'm in the process of playing and all that stuff. On May 5th, on May 5th, 2001, they had already moved to where we are staying now in the Lagos, called Agaonu Street. They've moved to Agaonu Street. That is when they gave birth to the fifth greatest Yusuf of all time, which is Glory, and Blessing Yusuf, which is Blessing Yusuf. At that point, she was the only girl and the youngest in the family, so she was having the last born privileges, a lot of things. And she and, let's say, the third greatest is so that she and my brother was always, so I was always in between the middle every time. They were always having their destiny. Until the stage when, in March 2008, 26th, when my mom was supposed to give birth to the sixth greatest Yusuf of all time, the both of them were arguing which gender it would be, a boy or a girl. I mean, I was just there being indifferent. Sometimes I will have to get pulled in against my will in this kind of argument, but I did not say anything. I said whichever case it is. And they gave birth to a girl again, which means the fifth greatest Yusuf of all time, my sister won, but her last born privilege is gone. And being the only girl in the family already was also left her title. So Glory Yusuf came about. Now when Blessing Yusuf came about, the fifth greatest Yusuf of all time, my brother had already said something that what a name should be blessing, and the parents took it seriously. So when this sixth greatest Yusuf came, I wrote something on a paper about glory, favor. It was just like a joke or something. Now I didn't know if they see it or God just find a way to put it in their head or something. But somehow the same name I put was the same name. So whether they heard it from me or not, but I was the one that brought out those two names first, glory and favor, and that is how it's the sixth greatest Yusuf of all time. So yeah, it's weird that my brother named my sister and I named my second sister of all time became what glory Yusuf. Now this exact year, 2026, fast forwarding to 2026, we at April 16, which 16 was when my mom, 16, which April was my mom's birth month, right? The second greatest Yusuf of all time. And 16 was the fifth greatest Yusuf of all time date, May 16. So April and 16, when they meet each other, became when my brother and his fiancée, which he got married to last year, gave birth to the, I said his fiancée, his wife, who he got married to last year, gave birth to the seventh greatest Yusuf of all time, which you already seeing there in that picture. So this is the origin story or backstory of the seven greatest. So it's not as if they created one special son from birth. Very simple, humble, normal beginning, but we refuse to make our ending normal because it's not just the beginning that matters. Although it matters in some kind of things and in the journey, in reaching some stages, your origin and beginning needs to be known, but it's the ending that determines. And the ending, we do not look like people that was just normal, that gave it to normal. We have climbed the surface of greatness, climbed the ladder, even the jet of greatness, achieved a lot of things, done a lot of things. My brother, good bank job, good CEO. My sister, many jobs, many skills. You know what I'm doing. When it comes to computer, I'm a wizard. My dad, well, he might still be doing small security and the rest, but he has reputation, he has a lot of things. My mom also has her own form of greatness wherever she goes. I've done a lot of jobs and all that. And the sixth greatest Yusuf of all time, being the fact she's a student, she has started learning a lot of skills, doing a lot of things, and having a lot of great things ahead of her. And this small child, no doubt, since he has the Yusuf DNA, which is a DNA of greatness, as far as we're concerned, is also going to what? We have not even scratched the surface of our greatness, all of us. We're still going high, high and becoming better. And somehow, when we think we have reached the zenith, the apex, we just do one new thing that is better than that. Or like, what? Especially me, which you already know. Now, more about me, you already know in the Yusuf Fest that I did in January 30, right? So that is how it is. That is how it is. The backstory of the seven greatest Yusuf of all time. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope you really know it, which is this thing. So next time, how did they give birth? Which month? Which year? At least you will know that what this is what the story. Bye.